Yeah. Yeah. It's with it. No, it's not. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. What's up? What's good? What's popping? What's cracking? What's percolating? What's really good in the hood? It's your man Theo Butler. I'm a day late. But hopefully, if you saw what I had going on yesterday and everything, shout out to Kevin KG Green from the Brian Graphics. Yeah. If you saw the pictures, if you saw the short and everything like that, I was busy yesterday. I was busy. Was invited to do a photo shoot by the Brian Graphics, specifically KG Green. There was a specific look he was going for. And I don't know, y'all gotta let me know if he got the look that he was going for. He was going for royalty, kingly, something like that right there. Y'all gotta let me know if he nailed it. I think he did. Who we got going? We got Anansi the Spider going on. What's going on, Anansi? We in here. We in here. And so we're gonna do our best to get in and get out. We're gonna have a great time, a great show and everything like that. Hopefully you tune in. If you like what we putting down, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, because I don't know what's going on. We've been stuck in the 1670s for a minute now. Anyway, Anansi is here. We got three. Just hit the like button. You ain't gotta leave no comment. So let's go overhead, and go over tonight's schedule. What we got lined up. Like I said, I think we got a great show tonight. I do. MCU Fans Reactivated. I'm gonna start opening up Twitter. Yeah, MCU fans, specifically those who love Black Panther 2. Ooh, y'all got some. You know what? Y'all interest is not consistent in the characters at all. We're gonna talk about it. Yeah. Boycotts, protests, what and why? Yeah. Because that whole DC so white thing. Yeah, we gonna bust it wide open. Pause. Yeah. Also, when it comes to DC so white, was it for a cause or just to generate controversy? Next up, DC and Marvel, because we stand on that DC so white train. The real frustration when it comes to Black character representation from Marvel and DC, because I'll be looking at folks and you be like, well, you sound intelligent. By and large, you are. But it's this part right here that you seem to keep glossing over and everything. Those of us that are comic book fans, nerds, we're going to get into it, because I don't know what they be talking about. Dillon Brooks, NBA basketball player. I got a question. Might be me being petty. Is he headed for the NBA Hall of Fame or the ATF Hall of Fame? Yeah, we going, yeah. What's the ATF? What's the ATH? ATH, that's what it is, ATH. What is that? We'll talk about it. Comparing Coach to Ridley. Y'all doing that on Twitter for real? Y'all really comparing John Ridley's run to Ta-Nehisi Coates' run? This is why folks be talking about the Black Panther fan base. This right here. We gonna talk about it. Storm canceled. Quite a few folks upset about that. Was the purpose served? Like, no, we'll get into it. Anyway, Insomniac's Wolverine, what Black Panther fans wanted. You know, folks act like to this day they still don't get that. They don't understand. I'm so happy for Wolverine fans. No, for real, genuinely, I am. We're gonna get into it. Black Panther and the practice of cognitive dissonance. Yeah, it stays right around there with the whole video game, movie, animation. Yeah, because folks see it over here, but then shout out to Cosco Schlepping. They act like they don't get it over here. They become blissfully ignorant or willfully stupid. So we're gonna talk about it. Which leads into the frustration of Black Panther fans. You either care or you don't. That's where we at with it right now. You either care about you can't say we're not validated when it comes to having the frustrations. No, it's either you care or you don't. We're gonna spin the block though. I see we got 8 people here. Let me see who. Oh, you look at that, man. Look here. We got Kamoyo King, president of the Black Panther fan group. Now tell them they pulled up. Anansi the Spider already in the building. S-Jatic, crazy that boycott fell apart so fast. Not like they had any faith in Blurred Without Fear, but that was still said. It's still sad. It's really been a crazy week. Yes, it has. S-Jatic also says, I say rest in peace. To their storm run, more black heroes and gods maimed than since when Namor flooded Wakanda. Yeah. Groovy Fee it's an official party right now. Groovy Fee is in the building. Groovy, baby, tonight. Really do like the way you groove me. Hey, really do like tonight. When I get you home tonight. Oh man, I love. Listen, Groovy, you got to always pull up to the lives. You give me energy. I could be dead tired. You finna give me some energy. So make sure you always pulling up. That said, let's go ahead and jump off into the first part of our show. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. MCU Fans Reactivated. Specifically Black Panther MCU fans. Okay. Yeah, I know. Got a movie coming out in a couple of years and everything like that. Video games, Token got certain characters from said movie in the conversation piece again and everything. Some folks don't know why no, I'm not going to say why the MCU is contemplating aging up T'Challa's son. Can't even call him by T'Challa's son. Don't even know what his name is, do you? Y'all stupid. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about MCU Black Panther fan. Y'all stupid. I can't even call you ignorant because you know better. Y'all know that damn dude ain't got no son in the comic books. And if you don't, that means you're stupid. You're saying the same thing you've been saying for 2 years now, which makes you even more stupid. Deliberately so, because you should not be saying the same thing you said 2 years ago. If you are happy that he has a son in the MCU, why you ain't saying anything about him not having a son, let alone a wife, forget having a baby mama in Marvel Comics? You're stupid. You're stupid. And you're so stupid that you'll sit there and tell people that like T'Challa as the Black Panther. Well, if you want T'Challa as the Black Panther, go back to the comic book. Well, if you want Shorty as the Black Panther, take your behind back to the comic books. How about that? But you know what you're not doing? You're not doing anything to elevate Shorty as a character. You're sending mixed signals, to be perfectly honest with you, because quite a few of y'all are either A, not black, or B, you black and don't care about issues that plague the black community, as in stereotypes, because you gung-ho for it. You gung-ho for it right now. I'm gonna go ahead and say it for the gram. You sitting up here talking about Toussaint and everything like that tells me you have absolutely no problem with a superhero being a baby mama, baby daddy. What you ain't trying to say is you want to see the same thing from them that you got from Reed and Sue, which is crazy because Fantastic Four did just come out, did it not? Amen. Amen. You also not keeping that thing a buck in regards to the Wolverine video game, because we just see Logan. We don't see Laura and we don't see Dakin. And you're going to sit there and keep playing stupid. No, you stupid. You stupid, deliberately so stupid to the point where I can't even take you seriously at this point in time. I can't. Not when everything, the Rock With Me Nation, shout out to my brother Daryl and everything. Not when everything the Rock With Me Nation has been saying since 2021 has played out. It played out like we didn't miss it. Shout out to Derek Bozeman. We didn't miss it. We didn't miss it. It's quite a few of y'all sitting around acting like y'all surprised about the retardation of black representation because you didn't pay attention to Derek. You either didn't pay attention to Derek or you didn't know Derek said anything. But you would be the same folks taking your lead from people outside the Rock With Me Nation. Speaking of the Rock With Me Nation, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. No, I need. Can we get some Rock With Me Nation music real quick? Let me go here real quick. I want me some Rock With Me Nation music real quick, because we've been doing big things in the Rock With Me Nation. Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have. We've been doing big things in the Rock With Me Nation. Let me get on. Let me get here. Yeah, we've been doing big things in the Rock With Me Nation. Hold on. Let me get this a little bit here right here. Shout out to Diabolical Nerd. Rock With Me Nation. With Me Nation, we here in the flame. Theo and D, real, the historians reign. Yeah. We doing big things in the Rock With Me Nation. Yeah. We doing big things in the Rock With Me Nation. Yeah, we got picture days, photo shoots, if you will. We got theme music and everything like that. Yeah. And we've been standing 10 toes down since day one. And look at God want to do it. Yeah. While other folks acting surprised, we've been standing 10 toes down. Yeah, come on. What we got going on? Come on, you'll say bunch of fake fools. S. Jaddy says Marvel Token Dark Reign adaptation. They said, and we got Norman Osborn as Green Goblin. Like the most iconic element of that arc is Norman not being Goblin. Don't adapt that, but T'Challa in a coma. Hey, listen, somebody said in Token, they said T'Challa was dead. In Token lore. Well, what Token getting their lore from? Yeah, what Token getting their Black Panther history from? Because I know where it ain't. Now I know where it ain't. And we ain't, like you said, S. Jaddy, we not finna F up Peter's story. We not finna F up Logan's story, right? And I get that because I know Peter's story, just like you do, just like we know Logan's story. But we want to take liberties over here. I better not hear nothing from not one Wolverine fan, not one Spider-Man fan. No. I bet not. Because I was rocking with you when you was mad about Paul and Mary Jane. I'm happy for you that you got this video game, and the video game focuses on Logan. So I'm able to understand how you feel. You better show that same feeling. You better show that same feeling. Let's keep it going. Like I said, Groovy Feet is in the building. Let me see. Logan ain't ever got to do no mantle sharing with his legacy. Main man gets to shine first, but when it comes, listen. We right there with you. We right there with you, S. God of War showing how it's done. You give Kratos 3 solo games, 2 games with his kids, and then you give his wife a spinoff. Come on, somebody. But they act like we don't know what we got going on. Ryder Maverick is in the building. What is going on? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They act like we ain't got good sense. We know better than that. Moving right along, because we came in here for a good time, a groupie time, if you will, not to be confused with a long time. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this next topic on out the way. Moving smoothly along and everything like that, because I was late yesterday. I was late. I didn't come in. My cousin trying to give me some advice because I lost my cool today. I'm working on me. I'm working on me. All right. Boycotts, protests, what and why? Do we know? So 6 days old, that's crazy. So the DC So White boycott is officially over. 6 days, right? And what I wanted to ask was, I wanted to, because you can talk to the organizers of DC So White. You can talk to those who were for it. You can talk to those who were against it. And I don't think either side has really dove into what a boycott is, why you boycott. What you got in the surface level explanations. Let's look at what a boycott is. A boycott is an act of voluntarily refraining from buying, using, or dealing with the product, person, organization, or country as a form of protest. The goal is to express disapproval, inflict financial loss, or force the targeted entity to change an objectionable policy or behavior. That's what that is. We tried to say, and I'm gonna say, when I say we, I'm talking about Generation X, baby boomers. We tried to explain that DC has been so white. That's not new. So when somebody says it's been 1,000 days since DC Comics has had an ongoing monthly, that's not true. It's been 50-something years. And to make such a statement that it's been 1,000 days is disingenuous, because it really paints the picture that nobody black was reading for comics in the 70s. That's not true. And we see how that play out, because by and large, you don't see blurs interacting with baby boomers and Generation X. No, they talk to them and it's on down. We got this whole thing from every generation that's younger than Generation X when they said, just wait for a recast. The mindset of way too many, not most, not all, some, too many in my opinion, the mindset of way too many young black people is that nobody was here before they got here. Nobody was reading these comics before they got here. And that's why you get a lot of misinformation out there. You got folks that they ain't gonna go back to when the character was created. They're going to read from the time they were interested in the character forward. And then they're going to paint themselves as experts. That's why we've been seeing recast T'Challa No Dollar actually grow as opposed to become stagnant, because we keep putting information out there, regardless of how old it is. We go all the way back. We just dropped videos last week where we were telling folks, hey, T'Challa invented Sam's wings. Folks didn't know. Hey, T'Challa invented the Quinjet. Folks didn't know. There were folks that didn't know that, and they've been following your favorite blurred since before me and Daryl became a thing. I want you to think about that for a second. They've been following your favorite blurred, following your favorite black movie reviewer since before you knew about me and Daryl, and they didn't know. They didn't know. So when you look at the boycott, well, if DC has been white since the 40s, Marvel has been white since the 60s, what are we boycotting right now? And then ask yourself this question. If you are Generation X and baby boomers, do you go to Marvel and DC to get your fill of black, or do you go other places? Because we lost our minds when they created Milestone Comics, because DC and Marvel were white, had been white. That's why we flocked over them. That's why we know these characters by names. That's why Virgil got a whole animation. You know, are we really not knowing that? We left DC. We don't go to DC for black consumption. We don't go to Marvel for black consumption. When they put it out there, yeah, we'll consume it if it's good enough. But what have we been doing over here as an entity? When they dropped Luke Cage, we bought it. It was trash. When they dropped Night Thrasher, we bought it. It was trash. So now you have way too many people saying, I'm going to say they got the best intentions, but this is when I say, if you, and I can't even say if you're not black, you don't need to be talking, because there's quite a few of us misspeaking, but you definitely don't need to be talking if you're white. What you're thinking is black people or fans of black characters are going to lower their expectation levels of the characters in the comics just because they're black. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I am a huge Black Panther fan. No, I did not buy the Black Panther 60th anniversary special. Why? Because it was trash. Now, whose fault is that? Is that the fictional character's fault? Is that the fan base's fault, who said they want Black Panther, they will buy Black Panther, They will read Black Panther. They will promote Black Panther. Is it that fan base's fault? They said it. Or is it the company's fault for putting out trash writing, trash stories, and trash art? If you're not going to accept it with Batman, we're not going to accept it with Black characters because we don't accept it with Batman. See how that go? If you didn't like how they had Paul going in there with Peter and disrupting whole Mary Jane situation, well, Spider-Man fans aren't all white. They aren't. There were some Spider-Man fans that are people of different ethnicities that felt the same way. Well, if they not going to want trash writing over there with Peter, they not going to want trash writing over there with Clark. What make you think they going to settle for trash writing in regards to Black characters? Here's why you're able to say that. Because while you can do your videos talking about the problem, you don't read Black comics. And you don't talk to anybody that does. Thus, you don't know the problems involved between the covers when it comes to them characters. As I said over there on TikTok, I will spin the block here. You read Black Lightning? I read it. They got you excited about the power company, but you knew going in it was going to be a limited run, right? You knew that. So what was there to keep you invested? We talk about this with other comics as well that don't have Black characters featured, that when you know it's a limited run, what's your investment? Okay, stay right there. That one for Reed Karami drawing Black Lightning. That's not what that was. That wasn't even an artist from Ultimate Black Panther drawing that. No, it wasn't. And what story did you get? Did you get a superhero story? Or did you get a story about a traumatized daughter who was trying to get used to her abilities changing on her? You didn't get that, what you get with a Peter, a Bruce, hell, even a Tony. You didn't get that. No, what you got was something to appease you. That's what Black Panther, the 60th anniversary special was. It was just something to appease you. That's what Black Panther Intergalactic was. It was something to just appease you. And we know it. We know it as fans that actually read them comics. Now, if you've done a video talking about why Black comics don't sell and you don't read Black comics, you may not need to be doing videos. You may not need to be doing video. We could sit up here. You could mention why Captain America, Sam Wilson, didn't sell well, because even though Blacks hyped it up, they didn't read it. Well, okay. Did you read it? Let me see if I got this right. We got the backyard barbecue. That's stereotypical. We got Isaiah Bradley looking like he one step away from death's doorstep, right? And he's got a super soldier formula in him. So we don't even know why that's working like that. And then let me see if I got this right. You had cities, plantation cities, hovering over major urban cities, Black cities, where they were going to do them harm. Oh, wow. That's original. That's original. That story sucks. That Night Thrasher story, let me see. Dwayne come back. Who was he fighting? Oh, Rage. And what was Rage's name? Oh, the OG. Well, if Rage is an OG, what that make me and Daryl? And then Rage's costume sucked. The artwork sucked. The story sucked. So what did fans of the Black character have to take away from that? Knowing that, once again, it was going to be a limited run. Is that the comic book fans' fault? Is that the character's fault? Or is that the comic book company's fault? I think we know who it is. I think we know who it is. Let me keep over these notes and I'm going to keep going. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. I see we got 12. Make sure y'all smash that like button if this is your first time to the channel and you still here. If you don't mind, go ahead and subscribe. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Let me keep here. Something to pacify an audience was all they offered. Grand Madam, the lovely Grand Madam Tarot is in the building. Yes, ma'am. You're absolutely right. I still can't comment from my other account, but it's cool. I just wanted to drop in and say, hey, what's going on? Love the culture poetry. What's going on? But notice how no one ever utilized the story of Logan's death to justify Lord Kenny taking over as Wolverine. No, Logan remains Wolverine every adaptation. You not wrong. You not wrong. Not tell them because they full of ish. When they not tell them said when they want to insert Shorty, why they only utilize the one story where T'Challa is injured and not any story from today where he is the emperor. You know what? It's crazy because why we can't get both of them in Hell's Kitchen? You know, while folks talk about Shorty being the Black Panther, I don't know. There's a story out there. Lord have mercy. There's a story out there with Shorty and T'Challa both taking on Wilson Fisk. They're Black Panthers. Yeah. He's the Black Panther in Hell's Kitchen, and she dropping by to help out her big brother. Look at God. Sam Wilson is in that story. Luke Cage is in that story too. Oh, look at it. We got Lady Bullseye. Yeah. What's the other young lady we got and everything? Wilson's Fisk, his girlfriend and everything, like Typhoid Mary. Look at that. Look at all them characters we got there and everything. You get your little Daredevil tie-in. You get you some hand tie-in. That'd be a nice video game. I don't think you would hear one Black Panther fan say nothing. We're not finna sit up here and say, why should he in the video game? We're finna sit up here and say, so you mean my daughter can play with me? My wife can play with me. Oh, this finna be lit. You sitting up there like, oh yeah, this finna be lit right here. This finna be lit. You got you some Wilson Fisk too? Oh yeah. Daredevil? Oh yeah, this finna be lit. Look at the gameplay. You can fight Wilson Fisk as T'Challa. You can fight Wilson Fisk as Shorty. You can fight Typhoid Mary and Lady Deadpool as Shorty. Not Lady Deadpool, Lady Bullseye. You can fight Lady Bullseye and Wilson Fisk as T'Challa. Yeah, you can. And then you can team up, you and your wife. Look at this bond we about to build here between couples. You and your wife, you and your significant other could be playing together, taking on the hand. Imagine that video game right there. And shout out to Ronnie. Shout out to my brother Daryl. That video game, that ain't a whole bunch. That ain't a whole bunch right there. You get that one little storyline right there. We might even get us some Vlad the Impaler. What you think about that there, yonder? Get us some Hate Monger. Yeah. Get us an American Panther. Yeah. Too easy. Kamoyo King said, I still haven't gotten a Misty Knight series, maybe written by a sister that can actually identify with what a sister goes through in a world stacked against her. That would be a dope series. You know what? Thank you for saying that. That's the other part that we don't talk about. That if you not me, regardless of how much you think you speaking for me, you're not. Give me a black superhero in the comic books. No. Don't tell me they black because of their skin complexion. Give me the black superhero in the comic books. You black. You've been black your whole life. Which one of them black characters sound like anybody you ever interacted with that's black? Or do they just sound like a cardboard cutout? Steve Rogers has a personality. Bruce Wayne has a personality. Peter Parker has a personality. Can we really sit up here and say that Sam Wilson has a personality? Anthony Mackie tried to play that dude as straight as he possibly could be. Boring, straight up and down, L7 square. Is that really Sam? And if Sam is a nerd, is that a black nerd you know? James Rhodes in the comic books. Okay. I've been in the military. He sounds like a black officer, you know, a black colonel. And here's the thing that we as black men and even black women can appreciate. Where's the swag? Whether we're husbands, whether we're fathers, whether we're in the military, whether we're six-figure earning professional, where's the swag? What's that cool thing where I'm looking at this cat and based on how he talk, I know that's a brother. Because I can look at him all day and yeah, it's a black character, but black in what? Black in what? Are they black just in melanin, or is that a black character? Do these characters really represent us? By and large, no, they don't. So when we say we want black representation, do we really understand what we asking for? Here we go. Let's do this. I love this right here. This was too easy. It's 2026. It's 2026, right? Do you know how many Miles Morales fans swear up and down he was created by a person of color? And when was Miles created? Which is the damnest thing, because you like to think, how long? Let me see. Miles been around since 2011. It is 2026. There are grown people to this day that swear up and down when we talk about the problems involving Miles as a character, they swear up and down it was one of us that did it. No, it was not. But how you a Miles Morales fan and you don't know that? You a Miles Morales fan. You didn't spot his uncle in live action. You didn't went to go see all the animated movies and everything like that. And you never stopped to ask yourself the critical thinking question, why is his last name Morales when his daddy black? No critical thinking whatsoever, none. That travesty where Miles was dressing up like everybody and their mama. You never stopped to think about why that character was going through that. You're never stopping to think about why, to a degree, Miles is missing something when it comes to his ethnicity. It's because he's not being written by us. Cody Ziegler was the first one, by and large, to get attached to him. Okay, so when was Miles white? I'm sorry, when was Miles black? Mind you, ain't Miles supposed to be coming from two different ethnicities? Ain't now one of them ethnicities create Miles. If you creating a character of color, you don't have friends that are of color. How do you know what to do with the character? You can have the best interest there, you can, and still fall short because you don't know no better. But you're not asking nobody either. Well, this is the true problem with black characters in comics. They're not resonating with black people because by and large, too many of them aren't created by black people and they're not written black. They're just written as the black superhero. You know it. I know it. I ain't tell you nothing that you didn't know. You just know. And folks know that. Sam Wilson's personality is coming from S-Jatics as Cap is trying to copy Steve poorly. Right. They need to take him back to his Snap Wilson personality. Anthony played a white man playing Sam. And if folks want me to break that down, there was nothing. He wasn't cool. He wasn't cool, and too many of us have actually been in the military. We didn't been Sam in Sam's shoes. I'm an E5 and I'm staying by myself. I'm in decent shape. I'm an E5 or E6. I'm making good money. I'm living in DC. I'm staying in on-base housing. And I was him when I was flying around with the Falcon harness, because it wasn't but two of us flying around, and I'm the only one came back home. Oh, I'm him. I need Steve. I don't need Steve Rogers' help for nothing. My dress game is nice. I ain't gonna have the most expensive clothes, but I do look nice. My ride look nice. Natalie would have pulled up, and yeah, I'm trying. If that's what that is, no, I'm trying to. I don't see him on your left. No, care nothing about you being on my left. You ain't get it. You ain't get it. You got James Rose walking over there as a full bird colonel. What a swag at? Or we just gonna accept you looking for this? No, man, stop. You ain't no. You ain't no. You know. Which then begs the question, and Steezer would like this one, why we settling? Steezer would like that question, why we settling? Because what does he say? The representation you settle for is the representation you get. Well, we've been settling for the longest time. Mind you, we left, went to Milestone, right? We left, started Milestone, read Milestone. Why? Because those characters resonated with us. Why did the Milestone characters resonate with us in ways the black characters from the big two didn't? Why is it that me reading Philadelphia right now by Rodney Barnes, Jimmy and James resonate with me in ways that Dwayne Taylor did not resonate with me in that Night Thrasher mini run? Why is that? Even with Ram God, who was not written by us, that character, the lead protagonist, black character, resonates with me in ways Ty Rock doesn't, Mal Duncan doesn't, Sam Wilson doesn't. Oh, I like Luke, but Luke don't resonate with me either, and neither does Dwayne Taylor. I like him. I do. I like him. But over there, no, these characters are unapologetically black. Whether they from the streets, whether they from the country, whether they from the city, they unapologetically black. Okay, well, that ain't ever been something over here in DC and Marvel. Black in name only. And I'm sorry, I know, but if you go back and you reread them stories, you're gonna be like, I don't like what he said, but he ain't lying. No swag, cannot get a date or loan. This is our top black hero right now. Sam's personality as Cap is trying to copy Steve. Yep, Anthony played. Yep. I'd buy a Misty Knight ongoing book. I would too, if it's written right. And that's the thing that I think we have to point out. Look at the guest stars you would have had in Misty book. Yes. I think that's the thing that we have to point out. What too many are saying is we want black. You should want black no differently than everybody else getting everything else. And then you have some folks that'll say, well, when you get black, you ain't checking for it because it was just black in name only. I'm not finna pay for that. Who pays for a hamburger that's just a hamburger in name only? We're not doing that. No, I read just like you do. Well, if you gonna give me a Misty Knight, what am I finna get? Because I'm gonna bleed this over into the whole Aurora Storm situation. What am I finna get with Misty Knight? From Marvel. Okay, we gonna want to put it with Danny. Okay, we say she not with Danny again, or she with Sam. Okay, I can't tell. I can't tell at all. I ain't never got the impression that they into each other like that. Like maybe they going out on a few dates, but they ain't in no relationship. Okay, so who's her villain? Who's her arch nemesis? And how long are we gonna spend in this story? Because in a day and age where we have this quick retention thing, how we used to read comic books back in the day is actually better than how they make them right now. 5 issues, 6 issues. You need to have 2 story arcs. Yeah, you can have them 2 story arcs leading to a bigger story arc, but you need to have 2 story arcs. 1 comic book, let a villain show up, let a villain get beat right there in that comic book. Don't drag this out, because dragging stories out trying to get them to the trade paperback number is hurting your writing. That's hurting your writing. Comic books were never meant to be written as novels. They were meant to be written as comic books. What you can do is take the collected issues, put them together, and have either your trade paperback or your omnibus. But sitting up there telling a writer to stretch out a story for 2 years, stop that. Stop that. If you're going to tell a writer to stretch out a comic book for 2 years, you better make sure you We're getting a lot of bad writing with black characters, and we're being told just to buy them because they're black characters. You're not doing that with the white ones. You're not doing that with the. We don't do that with the white ones, because we buy comic books featuring white characters. We don't do that with the white ones. If the Justice League, what is it? Intergalactic United or whatever, Unlimited. If Justice League Unlimited sucks, Justice League Unlimited sucks. You're not going to keep buying it just because Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman over there. No. Watch this. You can go to other comic books that have Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman in them that are written well and get your Batman and Superman feel. And honestly, that Justice League Unlimited run that they got going on right now, it's not as good as the one with JLA with Ariel in it. Ariel in it, whatever you want to call it. The Angel, it's not as good as that. So, Gunn is serving up Bloodsport, Mr. Terrific, and John Stewart, but I'm supposed to stay at MCU for Sam and Baku, Tucson, and Wonder Man. I will answer that like this, because I believe this is the responsible answer. We're not checking for Marvel and DC to give us black representation. If you've been reading comics diligently, especially if you've been rocking with me and Daryl and everything like that, you didn't make an announcement, but if you're somebody that takes value in seeing you've been left. You've been left. You're not checking for Hal Jordan. You might be checking for Absolute Green Lantern. I'm gonna say Absolute Green Arrow, but that was because of how that story was written. You're not necessarily checking for Bruce like that, but you are checking for Absolute Batman because that story is fine. That's what that is. And so when you check for characters that ain't black, you're checking for them if the story is fire. That's what that is. They will do their least when it comes to characters of color and tell you, hey, we got you right here. No, you don't. Even if we're being honest, the artwork on Mr. Terrific wasn't all that. Mr. Terrific first year, that wasn't all that. It wasn't. And what's your investment to actually buy the limited run? Yes, you can see where Mr. Terrific has an arch nemesis for me. Yeah, you got the young lady that's from Apocalypse. Yeah, you got his son Fairplay. But if they're not going to give you an ongoing series, why invest in it? The artwork wasn't all that. They're telling you up front it's a limited run. Why check for it? You already know Curtis's story. I'm going to say Michael's story. So essentially, they gave you a retcon of his origin story. Really? You didn't want nothing else? We got Lex Luthor in it. Okay, well, what's the payoff with him and Lex? Because you never got that. I didn't either. And how long has Michael Hope been around? Okay, Bruce was in it. Bruce been around Mike. Mike been around Bruce. What's the payoff? These are the conversations that when people say boycott a comic book company, just saying that doesn't reveal why. You better be able to say why. And nobody in saying DC so white, because some of these folks that were saying DC so white, you were still covering the X-Men. The X-Men been white. Whether we talking about Aurora or not, because now I'm finna spin the block for real. DC been white. Marvel been white. By and large, when we get our characters, it's just to say they gave us a story. We don't really have that many stories to hang our hat on. And that's just what that is. And until you get somebody from the editorial department, along with the writer and the artist that actually care, ain't nobody finna sit up there and just waste their time buying comic books. You can say black folks aren't interested or black characters don't sell. There's a reason why black characters don't sell over here, but they sell over there. See, that's the other thing we're not saying. Oh, they don't perform well at DC and Marvel. They do it other places. They do it other places, so we're not going to do that. Speaking of let's go here. So Storm got canceled. This ain't this segment is not whether you happy about that, unhappy about that. That's not what this segment is. This segment is did the story, the writer, accomplish what he was supposed to? Because everybody seemed surprised that it got canceled. Here's what I'm gonna tell you in regards to what I've learned from speaking to writers. You either coming in to shake things up or you coming in to maintain the status quo. If you're not coming in with a big name, by and large, you're going to do what they tell you to do because they called you. They asked you to do it. And if this is something you've never done before, you're more than likely to go along with what they tell you because you're trying to get your name out there as a legitimate comic book writer. Well, I asked the question, did it accomplish? And it's a loaded question. Did it accomplish what it was supposed to? Because it divided a fan base. That's what it did. It divided a fan base. And I'm suspicious, if you will, considering what the editor of the Merry Mutants had to say. There are no viable black male mutants. I don't know how many of us let that go over our head. Whether you're a Storm fan or not, he said it. Some of us let it go over our head. Some of us didn't. I saw how he tried to play Prodigy against Sync in that NYX storyline, or at least the writer. I saw that. And I know he made that statement about not having viable black male mutants. And there were at least 2 black writers assigned to X-Men comic books, Marwa Ayodele and Dr. Eve Ewing. So who made the statement? Was it all of them, all the X-Men writers making that statement? Or was it just a select few and everybody went along with it? Because I didn't get no pushback, and neither did you. You didn't hear anybody say anything contrary to. You didn't hear a black X-Men writer push back on that. No, the editor spoke and nobody pushed back. Meanwhile, in Gotham, Craig disappeared. And when you press the writer about Craig, all you got was it's a time jump. Well, if you still been rocking with Aurora Storm, you seen Craig? Or was Craig just another disposable black character? We can't get no end of the Craig story. We can't know what went on with Craig. After all, he did go to Oraco, Mars, to have dinner with Aurora. He did that. And he did fight by her side when Uranus came in there, right? He don't deserve anything. Because I could ask the question, is Craig the baby daddy? Then when you get in here to that fateful issue 3, folks are telling you what the lick read. Don't do this. Fix it. Don't pursue this. You got blurs, nerds, black this, black that, everybody and their mama telling the writer, don't make this move. Because we know what it's going to do. And it did just that. But at no point in time did the writer relent. He doubled down on it with the reveal of the daughter. So this is when I look at black women. And I don't even know how to do this. Because as a black man, it was never my goal to have any child out of wedlock. As a black boy, as a young black male adolescent, that was never my dream. My dream was to have the complete package, the wife and the children. It's never been on my mind, let me just be a baby daddy. And if you, I need the woman that calls herself tell me that was your goal. Tell me that was your goal. Because I see a lot of dudes being put on child support because they're not taking care of their kids. I'm one of them cats who, hey, my daddy wasn't in my life and everything like that. And I refuse to do that to my children. So I need the woman to come tell me, because this is the same thing Ryan Coogler put out there in Black Panther 2. The baby mama thing. Okay, well, I need the black women to stand up and stand tall, because I hear y'all saying y'all love these women, but y'all not saying nothing about how they being portrayed. And see, I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to step out of line as a black man. So I'm asking you, I know what my goal was when it came to the nuclear family. Are these black men that's speaking for you telling the truth? You good with having a black child without the black man? Or you good with just being a baby mama? Help me out. Help me out. Because I see quite a few black women coming to the defense of that particular story. Help me out. Help me out. Because we don't want T'Challa having a child out of wedlock. Let me say that one more time. We consider that disgraceful. We consider that dishonorable. We consider that beneath the character. If that character has a child with a woman, more than likely, he married her before that child even came into the world. Because that's, we know our character's personality. Our character not doing nothing like that. Well, I wouldn't think Aurora would have a child out of wedlock. But then again, I'm not the one that believes Aurora would irresponsibly have sex. I'm not that person. But the comic book did get canceled. And I see folks like Rob from Comics Explained. I wish you would do a job. I wish you'd do a better job of explaining comics. I really wish you would, because it'd be too many people that look like me go along with the trash nonsense you be saying, and you ain't gonna say nothing no different. Anyway, Rob is of the mindset it should have been extended, so Aurora could remain a slut puppy for X-Men fans, because that's what that is. You certain things you just not gonna fool me as an X-Men fan. You mean to tell me Marwa Ayadele read Jonathan Hickman's X-Men, where Logan is smashing Jean and Scott. Jean, who is his best friend, Scott, who's like a brother to Aurora. Logan is smashing both of them. Aurora know they got a house on the moon. Well, all three of them are being intimate. In her moment of weakness, that's what she's doing. That flies if I don't read Marvel comic books. That flies if I'm not an Aurora fan. That flies if I'm not an X-Men fan, because that means I ain't been keeping up with them characters. But you see how easy it is to catch folks in a lie when you keep up with them characters. Well, you can give people what they want, but you still gonna lose a certain amount of respect when you reveal yourself to be a liar. Too many people that are Aurora fans caught the writer in a lie, a bald-faced lie that he wanted to pursue. Yes, he got to build her up as a goddess. I'm not mad at that. Is it gonna last? Because he's not the writer anymore. Did anybody hear he coming back? To uplift Aurora as a goddess, might he had to have had a trade-off? She can't be with Aurora. She can't be with T'Challa. If you want to lift her up, you can lift her up. If you want to bring in other mutants and everything like that, you can do all that. But you're gonna write her the way we want to write her. Well, you can Aurora, but at some point in time, you're gonna tune out of that. You can like everything going on at first, and at some point in time, because some people did this with Ultimate Black Panther, they liked what was going on at first, and then after a while they checked out. Well, you know what? Some people did that with Aurora. We stopped to ask why. Also, Jean is Aurora's best friend. Yeah, absolutely. Even outside of issue 3, let's look at the record of Storm. Manifold, Maine, Maggot killed, wanted to kill Sync, stopped by Tom, massacred the Orisha, only Sango. I don't know what. Listen, I didn't read none of that. You see how I can't tell you none of that? Because I didn't read none of it. You see that right there? I said what I had to say, straight to the face, right? I didn't buy it after that. Now, here's the question I ask other people. If you didn't like what was going on, and I'm not saying you bought it, S. Jadis, I'm not saying you bought it. If you didn't like what was going on, you should know what occurred. You should know what occurred and you shouldn't care unless we spend the block on it doing a comic book review later on. Why? Because none of that adds up. None of that adds up. And it's how it makes the writer look. We already know the comic book company don't care. So here's what you have, and this is what leads to a divide within our people. You got the comic book writer being a black male from Africa. You got S. Jaddix being an African-American male from America. Manifold is maimed. We don't like Eden Fessy. Or I guess he was non-viable. So let's make sure he's non-viable going forward. Maggot. Well, we made Maggot an Omega level mutant in the same comic book. Just what? To delete him? I guess he was non-viable. Let me keep going. Sync. Well, he's an Omega level mutant. Yeah, he got everybody's ability, just like Rogue. Except he ain't got to touch nobody. He just got to be in the general vicinity, and he ain't ever finna lose them ability. And that's what we want to do. Wonder who said that. Massacre the Orisha. What Black Panther fans signing up for that? But yet you from Africa, you supposed to respect it. And these are, you say we stopped at issue 15? So everything he did up to this point is canon. And that's what he got on his resume. And what black person cool with that? Because we talking about black characters. Let's think about these black characters. Eden Fessy, Manifold. The only person that writes him respectfully is Jonathan Hickman. Where's he from? It ain't from America. So you got the African writer not even able to do right by the black character that's not from America. Okay. Maggot. I don't think Maggot from here either. You promote him to an Omega level. Appreciate it. Good looking. You delete him for what? Because how many black Omega mutants do we have? That's a fair question. So you promote him to Omega level just to delete him, and you ain't got no issue to bring him back. Oh, I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. You know what? Maybe you shouldn't have did some of that stuff that you did, because clearly you did what they want you to do. And that's the sad part of it. So you got Marwa Ayodele having maimed Manifold. It's going to take another writer to come along and make that right. Hopefully correct it. No different than you had John Ridley, for whatever reason, take T'Challa off the throne as king, even though he was a galactic emperor. You had to wait on another writer to come in and make it right. You got Maggot deleted, who really didn't get that much shine in the X-Men, written like he was supposed to as a character. Could have easily been one of those characters relocated to Wakanda. The last thing you got for him is taking the dirt nap. Then the Orisha, who, shout out to Cheryl Lynn Eaton, actually gave us them and the Enid actually conversing in ways we had never got it before. So the dude from Africa, rather than building up what Cheryl Lynn Eaton left there with the Orisha being active, the only person we got left is Shango. Y'all don't see it. Y'all don't, that's still your boy. It's our fault as black readers. We don't really F with the big two when it comes to black characters. Because where that makes sense at? You can like Marvel all day long. If you bought them issues, you supported that nonsense, you ain't want to say stop at not one point in time. Or it looked good. Because you ain't getting that with Thor and his people. You ain't getting that with Hercules and his people. You ain't getting that with Diana and her people. But over here, we good. Okay. All right, keep going. Shango is alive, but still a prisoner. Samuel Alice, but he's still a prisoner. We didn't get any of the African gods flexing their power. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So when you don't get that, that's problematic if you're one of the big two. Because fans of characters see the disparity in how certain characters are written, regardless of what that fan is. If they like that character, they like that character. You've been doing this since the 60s, since the 70s, since the 40s. So you ain't just got to be doing this. No, you've been doing this. The thing is, and this is the problem, some of us contribute to it. Some of us contribute to it. If Aurora's comic book Storm fell off in sales, the black writer played a part. We can look at the black fan base. We can. We just need to know why they checked out. If the black fan base checked out, they did, we know why. If the black fan base was divided, we know why. You either care or you don't. You either care or you don't. But having certain conversations on social media, some folks acting like they experts when they come to speaking on behalf of a certain demographic. No, because you're not gonna break it down like that. And that's the problem. The Asgardians in Greek mythology always get to flex how strong they are, but the one time, what's going on? F in pesos. I'm gonna say F in pesos. What's going on? What's going on? Appreciate you pulling up. The Asgardians in Greek mythology always get to flex how strong they are, but the one time we got an African writer bring the African gods, he make them look weak and kill them. Can't make this up. It is what it is. James, what's going on? Theo B. They had the T'Chaka being a baby daddy. I don't remember him marrying the mother of Jakar. You're right. We talk about T'Challa though. Story and context. We got T'Chaka. You got Jakar. But then we also got Shuri. We also got Hunter. So T'Chaka's convoluted, complex, however you want to say it, as a character, just being a father. But that's not T'Challa though. And I appreciate you saying that, James, because somebody else would have said the same thing. Not in the spirit in which you meant it, said it, but they would have said it and meant it to deflect, to say what's so different. Well, the difference is we ain't got black love, period. Not in Marvel. You ain't got it. You ain't had it. The closest we got was Monica Lynn. Okay, well, we gonna make a place for Aurora. Okay, well then, when you do that, you got somebody that don't look like us saying they don't want to feel like they gotta force them two characters to be married. They're not saying that for anybody else, and there's way too many of us that look like me and you co-signing that. You, and I'm gonna tell you what it boiled down to. It's kind of like how I played out on TikTok. And it's just something we need to, hey, you admit the truth, and then you can go forward. Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome. You've been taught since you've been in America to see yourself in them. They've never been taught to see themselves in you. If you started going to a church, the first image you got of Jesus was not a dude from Bethlehem. The dude looked more like Anakin Skywalker than a little bit. You've been conditioned. You can get love from everybody else over here, but you ain't gonna fight for yours. You don't know how. Then you ain't even been taught that. You have to stay on duty consciously to sit up here and say, okay, well, T'Chaka got a child out of wedlock. Okay. Slade Wilson does too. Right? Slade Wilson does. Oliver Queen had one out of wedlock. Wildcat had a son out of wedlock. Written by Jeff Johns. We gonna put respect on their name though. But we got examples of other characters. Bruce Wayne got a child out of wedlock. But where's the child at? Right there with daddy. And they are co-parenting. Like, that's what you got. You got them co-parent. Tell, hey, this you right here. He done lost his damn mind. It's your choice. It's your, you got to raise it. And even with that, you know who his mama is. You seen his mama pop up on a cartoon. You seen his mama pop up on in the comic books. So you know beyond the shade, and you know her and Bruce got a relationship. You know that. You don't know that over here. And the thing about it is, those of us that don't consciously think about it will say stuff like that and never spin the block on that statement again. They definitely not gonna say it, even though they know. Prime example, that Wolverine video game. I'm finna change the subject. That Wolverine video game. That Wolverine video game is everything Black Panther fans have been asking for since they announced Captain America, Black Panther, 1943. That is the video game every Black Panther has been asking for. That video game right there. Yet you have Spider-Man fans, Marvel fans, folks that don't look like you, X-Men fans, tell you was tripping. Hell, even the writer of the Storm book wanted them BS Black Panther game, but he gonna get a better game in Wolverine and not even think to ask himself, what's the differences between the Black Panther video game I was gonna settle for and the Wolverine video game I'm able to enjoy today? Not even gonna ask himself, what's the difference? Meanwhile, in Gotham, you got Logan, as it should be. As it should be. We doing a video game, brand new console. We coming out with the originator, the OG, Logan. That's what that is. We're not gonna do nothing with nobody else. No, brand new system, brand new game. Essentially, we relaunching the character. Okay, Logan. But it shouldn't take all that though. Spider-Man fans should understand. PS4, you got Peter first. Then you got Miles. And even in Miles' game, Peter shows up. But you definitely got Peter first. So you then had folks that are gamers being disingenuous, being stupid, deliberately stupid. You got reviewers deliberately lying, acting like they didn't know what Black Panther fans were talking about. But you like Logan though, don't you? You like Wolverine though, don't you? As you should. As you should. That's how you know it's deliberate. That's how you know the stupidity is deliberate. The ignorance is deliberate. And the moves being made by the comic book companies, regardless of who they are, the movie studios, regardless of who they are, they're deliberate. You either gonna go along with it or you're not. You either care or you don't. You either care or you don't. Theo B. So yeah, you either care or you don't. There you go. D. Steezel, Mr. Rock with Me Nation is in the building. What is going on? You either care or you don't. I'm at this point though, where I ain't got it within me to go back and forth with you. I see what it is. You either care or you don't. I'm not going to believe you don't see what I see. I'm not going to believe I'm smarter than you. See what I'm saying? I'm not going to believe you don't see what I see. I'm not going to believe I'm smarter than you. No, what I'm going to believe is you see it. You're just as intelligent as I am. You just don't care. Well, if you don't care as a Black person, it's some things you can't come to me complaining about. It's some stuff I just don't want to see no more on social media. I don't want to hear no more about Black women need to be treated a certain type of way. You don't give two damns how that Black woman's being treated. I don't want to hear anything about Black people need to be treated a certain type of way. You don't give two damns about how Black fictional characters need to be treated. You're basically showing the world on Front Street that you really don't give two damns about yourself like you claim you do. For instance, the N-word. We like running behind people that sound sexy when they know what they're talking about, whether they be male or female. I know it's a young lady out there and everything talking about why folks can't use the N, why folks that's not Black can't use the N-word. I got a better question because I've asked it twice. And the amazing thing to me is when I ask it, the person that used the word never says anything. So when you get mad, because the test was you're supposed to use it as a term of endearment to take the power out of it, to take the sting out of it. But I've seen us on social media go back and forth with us and call ourselves dumb ends with the soft A right? But you calling it your brother a dumb end no differently than Massa would call him a dumb end with the ER. What's so different? What's the difference between you and Massa using the N-word toward a black person when you're mad? What's the difference? What's the difference between you and Massa and how you mean it? What's the difference? What's the difference? Because I don't want to hear that no more. Because one, I don't identify with that word. But when you call me that word out of malice, what's the difference between you and Massa? You know, I've asked that question more than one time, and I ain't got not one response. They don't even bother responding because you ain't no different than Massa. That's what it is. You ain't no difference in Massa, and you didn't have nobody holding that mirror up to you up until that point in time. You think you black. You think you cool. You think you smooth. You ain't no different than Massa. When you get mad at a black person, you finna call that black person the same thing Massa would with the same hateful intent. You ain't no different. And all these folks are talking about it's okay for black people to use the N-word. I wish you would break down when they should be using the N-word. Because we're not using it as just a term of endearment now, are we? And you ain't got to have no fancy PhD to know that. So when we be doing these little short videos and everything like that, if you call yourself a leader of black people, I really wish you would lead as opposed to just wanting to get paid. Because it's more than enough y'all just talking. You had the audacity to be sharing her damn video like she said something that was intelligent. No, she said something irresponsible. She said something that was half truth. And you would know it if you would read your damn self. But you're not doing it, are you? No, what we want to do is keep following behind people. Pick up a damn book. Use the smart device you're using to watch me or anybody else on social media. Use the smart device to be actually smart. Theo beat Jaren said that should have been the Black Panther game. T'Challa hunting down his villains in Wakanda would have been great to play. Yeah, ain't gonna get that. Too many people want Shorty to be the Black Panther. Too many people want Okoye to be the Black Panther. Too many people want Nakia to be the Black Panther. Too many people want M'Baku to be the Black Panther. Too many people want Eric Njadaka to be the Black Panther. I'm just surprised ain't nobody said they want Njobu to be the Black Panther. If you didn't get that joke, there's a reason. What's going to Shaolin Joe in the building? What is going on? What is going on? But I agree with you, Jairus. That should have been the game. And then Insomniac didn't go with Laura Overload. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Yo, Talia drugged Bruce too, and he still took responsibility for that. He did. He did. But no, you're absolutely right. And I was looking at the trailer and everything like that. I say, I see Callisto. I see Leech. Okay, that's Jean Grey right there, but y'all better get them power sets right because folks is tripping about the pink energy. They say it better be green, so y'all might need to fix that. Who else we got around here? I think I saw Pyro. And they say it Toad, right? I ain't see Dakin. Did y'all see Dakin? I ain't see Dakin. But wait. I ain't read no request from Dakin. Like, ain't nobody say where Dakin at. Ain't nobody say that. I saw Sabretooth. You saw Sabretooth? Saw Sabretooth. Ain't nobody asked where Laura was. Not one time. They ain't asked where she was one time. I said, ooh, y'all telling on yourselves right now. So you love this video game, but you don't understand why Black Panther fans had a problem with the video games being presented to them. That's what we doing? Okay. I don't want to play no more. That's what we doing. Moving right along, though, because we're not going to belabor the point. I definitely appreciate y'all pulling up. I mentioned earlier, you a basketball fan. Shout out to, congratulations to the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs making it to the NBA final. I had a question because I'm like this. I believe in working on your craft, whatever your craft is. And Dillon Brooks, Y'all know him formerly of the Memphis Grizzlies, right? Y'all know him formerly of the Houston Rockets. He got a lot of formulas around there and everything like that. What's more likely? Dillon Brooks makes it to the NBA Hall of Fame, or Dillon Brooks makes it to the all-time haters Hall of Fame? What's more likely? Because I think right now his ability to hate has eclipsed his basketball abilities. That's what I'm looking at. Like, I think he's a better hater than a basketball player, and which is a shame, because I don't necessarily know if he's getting paid to hate. I don't necessarily know if he getting paid to hate, but my dog don't mind trolling folks, and I'm like, I wish you would spend that much time in the gym, because the folks that you talking about play basketball at a higher level than you. Is all I'm saying. Like, they play basketball. They might not be dressed better than you, might not have as much jewelry as you, might not have as many baddies as you got, but they definitely better on the basketball court. But that's how you get paid. So I'm thinking, Dillon, we need a change of careers where we can maximize your potential to hate, because you always home hating on folks. You never in the playoffs hating on folks. You from the house. Kind of, you giving off Drake-ish vibes, except you ain't accomplished what Drake done accomplished. I ain't saying, I ain't saying, I'm just saying, like, I just need you to know, I did it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Question real quick while we should. Did y'all like the photo thumbnail? Shout out to KG Green and everything like that. Yeah, he did that. I don't know who that is in the photo. D. Steve says, I got all the leaked info for Wolverine. Didn't see Dackett. You know what? As we shouldn't. We shouldn't have seen Dackett. We shouldn't have seen Dackett. Where are we at? It is 7:50. We started this show at 6:30, right? We said we was gonna move right along with that daggone thing. We did. We said we was in here for a good time, not to be confused with a long time. Oh man, comparing Coach to Ridley. I'm gonna stop going on to Twitter. I'll be going over there to get ideas, but when I go over to Twitter, I see some stuff, and I be getting triggered sometimes, and I have to tell myself, don't respond. We really comparing Ta-Nehisi Coates run, either one of them, to John Ridley. We doing that. Like, I can tell you, if you didn't like the first run by Coates, it was because you like, well, this the next time that Wakanda is being challenged. This is the next time somebody want to have a revolution in Wakanda. I get that. It wasn't as bad as none of that stuff that Ridley gave you in 10 issues. If you don't like what the Intergalactic Empire implied, you don't like how it got started, you're also telling me you really, to a degree, don't like world history. But that's where he got that story from. It's world history, right? If you're telling me that, I understand it. I get that. That run still ain't as bad as anything we got from John Ridley. So I'm trying to understand how, because somebody said, give me a writer that did to a character what John Ridley did to T'Challa. And somebody said Coates. No. You can't be telling me today you happy about the Intergalactic Empire and you mad at Ta-Nehisi Coates. You cannot tell me that. You can't. You can tell me you don't like how we got there. You can say that. That's fair. But we cannot be comparing Ta-Nehisi Coates to John Ridley. If we're literally on social media comparing, and we claiming to be Black Panther fans on that same social media app, and we're comparing Ta-Nehisi Coates to John Ridley, this is why people are saying Black Panther fans ain't got no daggum sense. Because I know that ain't what we're doing, but yes, it is. How we compare anything to John Ridley? Like, do you know? I don't think we understand the depths of where we got to go to get there to compare that run to John Ridley. Let me keep up with these notes. Fun show. Colts to Ridley comp is crazy. Yeah. Come on, Daddy, say it again. But these Steelers, I'm not a big Colts fan, but really it's 10 times worse. Bam. I'm sitting up there like, there's no way. And you on social media saying that, we'll never get another Black Panther story like that, because folks will be able to sit up, they don't know what the hell they want. They'll be able to say that with their whole chest. They don't know what the hell they want. And as a Black Panther fan, all I can do is sit back and say, "You right. You right. You sure right. We saying it with our whole chest. We do not know what we want." Come on now. We got to do better than that. We got to watch what we saying on social media. Just go to X to post. Don't go to X to respond to nothing. Don't go to X to respond. I'm asking us. Don't go to, I'm asking us. See, I'm including me in that. When we go to Twitter going forward, don't go over there to respond to nothing. Just go over to post your stuff. Go post and leave. Post, leave. Don't even go to look for comments on the stuff that you post. Don't. Just go post. Share your love of T'Challa, any other character that you care for. Post it. Go about your business. Don't go over there looking for no knowledge. Don't go over there looking to respond to nothing. That didn't know. Protect your peace. Protect your peace, because they crazy over there. Theo B, you made that Black Diamond yet? No, I have not made Black Diamond yet on Big Jarence. Being responsible, handling bills first. Handling bills first, but that is something that we still looking at doing. Body sculpts are already in house and everything like that. Just making sure we get them bills first. D. Steve said Twitter is the armpit of society. You're not wrong at all. You're not wrong at all. Moving right along, we're gonna keep the party going. Where else are we at? I think I uncovered everything. I really did. I think I eased through everything with a nice little pen and paper. Smooth it down for transition. And if not, let me sum it up like this. Black Panther fans are Black Panther fans. Been reading comics, period. Black Panther fans are also fans of other characters. I think the disconnect is people feeling like when you say that's your favorite character, you don't have any other character that you are equally as knowledgeable about. That's not true. You're saying that's your favorite character because that's by and large where you spend the majority of your time and energies with that character. But growing up as a comic book fan, we read comics. Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Action Comics, Legion of Superheroes, The Mighty Thor, Spectacular Spider-Man, X-Men, X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold, the all different X-Men, the all different Teen Titans. We're fans. And many of us, even though we're Black Panther fans and we say T'Challa is our favorite character, we cut our teeth on way more characters that didn't look like us than those that did. So we know their history. If you are a Black Panther fan, you fall in one or two categories. You either started rocking with this character when the movie came out, or you've been rocking with this character since you first saw him in comic books. What the comic book fans that are Black Panthers fans, what they want is what everybody else is getting. And unfortunately, what many of today's Black Panther fans are running into. You're running into the old heads not settling. You just want a Black Panther video game. The old heads want a Black Panther game no differently than folks got a Peter Parker game based on Tobey Maguire. Because we got that video game. You are dealing with people that want a Black Panther video game no differently than all those X-Men video games they played. Whether it was on the Nintendo, and I'm not talking about the Nintendo Switch. I'm talking about games you had to input in there. Right. So they're not going to settle. Well, if we're talking about Black representation, DC So White, the big two, they've never invested in Black characters like they should and or could. We've been known it. And as fans, not just Black fans, but fans of Black characters, we've been walked away. When we go to DC right now, it's for what they offer, not what we're looking for. When we go to Marvel right now, it's because of what they offer, not what we're looking for. What we're looking for, we've grown accustomed to finding in other places. When you talk about DC and Marvel being so white, you need to be very, very articulate and very, very specific. If not, you're not doing the fans, the comic book company, any service whatsoever. All you're doing is making money off of an issue that's been an ongoing issue since we was kids. Now let me say this, because I touched on it earlier. Do you know why you were boycotting? Because you ended it after 6 days. Boycotts aren't a sprint. Boycotts aren't meant to be friendly. They are meant to inflict pain. They are meant to be ongoing until you achieve your objective. Now, here's the difference between DC So White and T'Challa No Dollar. I would say recast T'Challa, but E-Man ain't sticking through like those from T'Challa No Dollar did. Quite a few from recast T'Challa didn't stick it through, didn't finish the drill like T'Challa No Dollar did. Here's the difference between DC So White and T'Challa No Dollar. We don't need you for anything. That's the first thing. Knowing what the protest is for. You finna do something unprecedented with a live action character you never done before, and you think we stupid. That's brand new. That's a brand new offense that was committed in 2020. What Marvel and DC have been doing as comic book companies, they've been committing that crime. So we looked at it. We ascertained what it was, and we stuck to our guns. You ain't never done this with nobody before then, and you ain't done this with nobody since then. We didn't F with Black Panther 2. We got them for $500 million. Folks still went out above and beyond to say how good the movie was, how well the movie did. It didn't make 1.3. It made 800 million. That means T'Challa No Dollar got them for $500 million. Eyes of Wakanda. Well, we're not stupid. They don't want to tell you about any of those Black Panthers that exist in the comic books, because that would lead you back to T'Challa. And if we're listening to Derek Bozeman and we've seen how they move, they don't want you going back to T'Challa. So they will make up stuff so you won't get the Nahanda like you should. The first Black Panther to form the Dora Milaje and the second female Black Panther. Why? Because she's related to T'Challa. You won't get Queen Turkanda, known as the Peacemaker. Why? Because she's related to T'Challa. Even though that is a woman who's heavy set and can do a lot for some sisters, women in general that might suffer from image problems, you got that queen sitting right there. And they didn't want to do that. Why? Because that would lead you back to T'Challa. While they didn't mind telling everybody else's story, they showed you they didn't want to not only tell T'Challa's story, they didn't want to tell anybody's story related to T'Challa. But we weren't accepting that. while folks were getting all gushy-eyed about the video games they were talking about, 1943, The Rise of Hydra, that Black Panther video game, what we did was we educated. We educated. We educated. Darryl kept his video content coming. I kept my video content coming. He kept growing Black Panther knowledge and awareness. I kept growing Black Panther knowledge and awareness. And then what wound up happening is you got Kamoyo start dropping Black Panther renders on TikTok. You got D. Steezel start dropping Black Panther renders on TikTok. Then this is what you build. Folks that actually want to know about the character are finding stuff out about the character that they never got from the studios, not from the cast, not from the crew, not from the dude with the baseball cap. But what does that get you? That gets you 2 video games indefinitely postponed. That's what it gets you. When you stay true to the message, you keep the message precise and clear. Recast T'Challa. No T'Challa, no dollar. Don't get it confused. Don't waffle. Don't waver. Understand, it's an endurance. It's not a sprint. You're going to have to stand 10 toes down. You're going to have to be prepared to be satisfied with winning a battle today as opposed to winning the war yesterday. You're going to have to make sacrifices. Well, if you really meant DC So White, you would have included Marvel in that as well. But then you would have made necessary sacrifices. You would have only started covering comic books that featured Black characters, period. When it took no big announcement, you'd have wanted to start in big up, independent Black creators, independent Black writers. But I know that's at the very least, one of y'all didn't do that. One of y'all actually has your own Black comic book. And you know what I've heard more so from that person than anything else? DC So White. Why ain't I hearing about your comic book? Why aren't you spinning the block on your comic book? Why aren't you letting people review you in regards to your comic book? Why aren't you telling people where to go to get your comic book from? Why aren't you making your comic book available to more reviewers like yourself so they can let other folks know that you actually have a comic book out there? That's how you handle business. Y'all didn't do it, which makes me question why you started it in the first place. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Listen, I'm out. Thank y'all so much. I'm going to keep up with these notes. Then I'm going to jump on up out of here and everything like that. We came in here for a good time, not to be confused with a long time. What we at? We almost at, well, what we started at 6:30, 6:33. It's 8:06. I have no clue why he don't promote his comic book. Bash DC for being so white is crazy. I'm just, you won't get King to Jada or tell him, no, you ain't gonna get none of that. Come on, your King, my brother is back. Yeah, you ain't gonna get none of that. It's like we're asking for equal pay and everyone else is telling us to stop whining about that right there. That right there. You said Brunson is the real deal. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate that, James. I appreciate that. Yeah, so if I had my own comic, I'm not worried about DC and Marvel. And that's why we say we try and do it, get us to that point as far as the Rock With Me Nation. When you got it in your home, you don't trip. Like, I don't know how to be pressed. I don't know how to be pressed about a Black Panther 2, about a Black Panther 3, when by and large, I got more credibility with what I got in my home than anything they did in Black Panther 2. Like, I got Shooty as the griot. I got a proper Namor, Mackenzie. I got that. I got T'Challa. I don't. Hell, I got Morlun. Let that sink in for a second. I got Doris. I got the Hatu. I got Fleet. Everything that a Black Panther fan from the MCU is gonna be like, oh, I can't wait till the movie come out in 2028. Even with what we do over here, we sit up here like, you know, Hasbro Marvel Legends owe us a Black Panther. You know what? They right. You right. They do owe us a Black Panther. But you know what I ain't finna do? Yeah, I cut the cape off. I cut the cape off. I cut the cape. Smooth Boss said, I don't want that no more. You can't do nothing with that. We still got the medallion right there. We put the short cape on. Yeah, we're not waiting. We I don't know how to do that. And we tell us where to go get it. So we ain't got to wait. What we say, Grand Madam? You say the heart-shaped herbs got burnt down. Who burned them down? You say Killmonger burnt down the heart-shaped herb? I got mine at the house. I got mine at the house. They give you their ass to kiss. Do you kiss it or break your foot off in it? Hey, I like to break my foot off in it. I like to break my foot off. Even when I did my photo shoot yesterday. Even when I did my photo shoot yesterday, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go ahead and do. Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear it. The photo shoot yesterday. That was big. I shout out to Kevin, KG Green, the Brian Graphics. That was big. He was going for a certain look. My mindset has always been to take that light from those who are irresponsible with it in regards to Black characters, especially Black Panther. Diabolical just came up with a theme song last week, right? And KG did the photo shoot yesterday and got the photos out like last night. Couldn't wait to get them out, and I'm so thankful. You seen anybody rep our character like that yet? You seen anybody from the cast and crew represent our character like that in a photo like that since they decided to delete him? Since they call themselves honoring Chadwick Boseman, you see anybody pay respect to that character like that? Those images, those pictures that KG took, they say pictures are worth 1,000 words. That's what they say. I don't know what he was trying to convey. Specifically, I know he loves the character. I know he's learned a lot about the character. I know he trusts me with the knowledge that I have about the character. He's a father, husband, right? Those images are powerful. We got more than those. Those in the group, the people group, you know, because I sent all the pictures over there and everything like that. 17 photos is what he took, though. 17. And there's no mistaking in those 17 photos that that person is a Black Panther fan. There's no mistaking in those photos that that person takes everything Black Panther seriously. My wife was there for the photo shoot and everything. The light needs to be taken. The light that that character brought to a lot of people needs to be taken back by the fan base of that character, because those people don't appreciate what that character has done for them. They don't. Whether we're talking director, whether we're talking actors, actresses, no, they don't appreciate it. those pictures that the Brian Graphics took, KG took yesterday, give me the feeling, the hope that we as a movement, as a nation, are headed in the right direction. That it ain't the company that own the character. It's the fan base that own the character. And you don't get to make money off that character unless we say so. And since we don't need you to get our feel of the character, you might want to tread lightly. That's the definition of a fan group. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Let me get on up out of here. We got Grand Madam. Yep, those photos are nice, Theo. Hey man, he did that. I should do one as well. Maybe you should all do something similar to show respect and love for T'Challa. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. They give you their, so yeah, that said, we are out. Thank y'all so much. My brother Daryl has a live coming up later on this evening. I believe it's going to be 9:45. Let me make sure. Let me sure I'm doing my due diligence and everything like that. I don't want to be disrespectful. Let me see here. So yeah, my brother Daryl has a live coming up at 9:45 Eastern Standard Time tonight. Y'all make sure y'all tuned in and everything. Also, we did drop New Warriors 32. We did drop Philadelphia 18. So we trying to get back into the realm of things, put stuff back out there. So that's it. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave them in the comment section. Tell somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, him or her that knows somebody. Come on and rock with the channel. I don't know how we got stuck in the 1600s. Something about that don't look right. Anyway, remember the late, great Don Cornelius and Chadwick Boseman. Make sure I do my due diligence. Oh, wait a minute. My brother Kamoyo, Wakanda citizen for 27 months. Hey, now, hey, he been doing it strong now. He been doing it strong now. Rock with me, nation. We rise as one. Yes. Shout out to Diabolical. We rise as one. Like, share, subscribe. And remember the late, great Don Cornelius and Chadwick Boseman. Until next time, I wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and soul. We out.